Labour Senator Andre Lewis is calling for accountability from the government as he says itemized details about the actual source of the funds to purchase Grenlec shares from WRB still haven't been provided. During a press briefing that followed the purchase of the shares in December 2020, Finance Minister Gregory Bowen gave the assurance that the money did not come from any third party but from the government's financial sources, including the capital side of the 2020 budget.
Well, the parliamentary approval was already given for capital expenditure. And within the rules of the Public Finance Management Act, yes, you can move capital expenditure around. You cannot move capital into recurrent. Yes? So when you have some expenditure that should have been done on capital work, and because of the lockdown and things it was not done, you have that allocation already approved by Cabinet and under the act, by the Parliament. And under Parliamentary Approval Act, you can move from one capital project into another.
Senator Lewis says a breakdown of the allocation of the funds ought to be given to members of the state.
It has been advanced that these monies came from the consolidated fund, came from monies that we saved. Although we are yet to be given details, and we should be given details, as to where, so for instance, if it came from Project A, that we saved monies from because of COVID 2020, if 10 million came from there, we ought to know.
Lewis referenced where the question was raised about what will happen if the shares are offered to Grenadians yet all can't be purchased. He said the answer given on numerous occasions was that the government will be willing to consider selling shares to foreign interests for less than the cost paid for per share in cash, and the balance can be paid through kind, such as building a hospital. Lewis says this again brings to the fore the need to be privy to a true detailed source of the funds, questioning why it was so difficult for the details to be provided.
And that is why it is important, Mr. President Chuyo, to speak to my colleagues on the other side, to help us in our confidence, declare the detailed source of the funds, because he who pays the piper calls the tune. If there is a continued failure to itemize for us the source of the funds, and if at any stage in the not too distant future, that there is some arrangement that some foreign entity purchases our shares and gain ownership or part ownership of Grenlec, with a combination of cash and kind, meaning the building of something that we need, it may concretize in our mind the thought process as to whether or not the funds actually came from what has been advanced. And if it came from that which was budgeted, what is the difficulty? What is the difficulty, Mr. President?
Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.